Today on PFL Dynasty Diaries, we're diving back into the action with a quick recap of episode 1 to set the stage. When we left off, you saw my opening week game against North Carolina State and the impressive college debut of Missouri's freshman phenom Tobias Crummey. This week's freshman spotlight is a little extra special, so stay tuned to see what he brings to the field. In our game of the week, it's a showdown between my Michigan Wolverines and the Georgia Bulldogs, led by PS2 legend. Our first two clashes have been battles for the ages, and this one promises to be no different. So let's get into it. Okay, so before I get into the game, what you're looking at right now is messages between me and PS2 legend. So just a little backstory. I'm the commissioner, and last season he had a forced win, and I forgot to put the forced win in, and it ended up being a fair sim, which he lost. It was an honest mistake on my part, because it was last minute, and normally I go through the chat, make sure I got all the force wins in, and keep it moving. And his literally came in at the last minute, and when I went in to do it, it wasn't in the chat, and I didn't, put in his force win. He got a loss, and he ended up missing the playoffs because of that. He was actually still ranked, I believe, 11th or 12th, but somehow didn't get in, probably because the auto bids from the conferences. But he was not happy about that because I'm pretty sure he would have got in without it. And so he took it personal, and he was not happy. And he basically was like, hey, I want you on my schedule next year. And I'm not showing the entire conversation, but he basically was like, I'm going to give you an L. And, I was like, I'm not taking no L's. And, that was basically the gist of the conversation. I do want to point out the first two times we played, he won. So I've actually taken 2 L's from him. Now, mind you, those games were very, very close, just like this one was. So, it's not like, this was like a gimme. But, of course, I'm not backing down. And this game was the result of this conversation. Now, you would think nothing less out of this. And, I kind of wish this game was broadcast for everybody to see live, because it was just very intense all the way through. And as I mentioned previously, the first 2 times we played, I actually felt like I should have won. Like, if you look at everything that happened, and I had the games under control both times, and he made the plays in the end to get the W. And this game, it was actually kind of reversed. He had control a majority of the game. I believe I scored first. But honestly, a majority of the game, he had control. He had the lead most of the game. But and just to start off, I just wanted to start the run, because as I mentioned, I plan on running more this year, and I want to, keep my game more conservative. And also, he has 2 corners that are 99 speed. I think one is 98, one is 99. And I did purposely want to get him over the top. So the second play, I'm like, he was pressing. I was like, okay, we just going to take this shot right now. And just didn't work out that way, because his corner was keeping up. So I ended up just throwing this away. I did take a shot later. I actually don't think I got that clip. And my quarterback overthrew him. I had him beat, and I actually overthrew him. But, anyway, that was just how I started off. But this right here, early on, we got that. We sacked the quarterback, and had a guy with 3.5 sacks who got player of the week, which I was happy about. So right after that, we go right back to the ground, boom, hit him with a nice run. And then the next play, so this is 2 plays after that fumble, and I'm sure he's not happy about this, but this right here just got to the outside. And, he didn't have anybody out there. I was actually expecting an audible to something else. I called that out the huddle. And I was like, oh, okay. So it was what I wanted. So I just got the quick hike before he adjusted and got in the end zone. So I got to an early lead. And I was feeling pretty good at this point. I think that was right at the end of the first quarter. So, but he gets the ball. Excuse me. He gets the ball. And then he had a nice drive right here. He got me with a couple dots. And I think I was looking at this as some bad users, because I know I was coming down on the low guy right here. And then he got me over the top, and I was kind of in no man's land right there as a user. I should have been up a little higher. That was kind of my fault. And I'm like just noticing this as I was pulling these clips out of Twitch. And then, he got me again on this play right here, where again I was chasing down and then he threw over the top, and I saw that guy and I should have got up there. I knew my safety was kind of deep and he caught him underneath. Then he hit me with the jet, and I usually I play that to the outside intentionally and just to have him go back to the inside. So when he jukes, he's going to run right into help, and he just made a good move right there. So right here, it's kind of the same thing, and this time it worked out how I wanted it. He just ran right into the rest of the defense. So just how things happen to go. When he got the touchdown, I just messed that up. Then, really the rest of the game was, this is kind of where he kind of took control of the game and, got a nice little lead. Not just this play, but the drive in general. He got a guy open deep, and I was, again, covering the wrong guy. And then right here, he punches it in. He had a couple plays before in here, but he punches it in right here, just running right up the middle, nothing special. And I just, was prepared for different things because he had ran some other plays right up the middle, and I was kind of expecting, but I didn't want to run commit right there. So that kind of got me out of, not out of position. He just read his blocks pretty good and got up in there. So, and then right here, this helped me out quite a bit. He made the mistake. Then I took that to the house, and I was happy about that. Normally right there, I would be screaming. I have a phrase that I would say, "Give me that," but it's kind of, I'm recording this at 4:30 in the morning and got people sleeping in the house, so I'm going to just stay calm for now, but I'm sure you'll hear that a lot during the course of this, particularly during my games and other games as well. I'm not going to be doing all my games, but this just happened to be the game of the week, mainly because of the trash talking, and in addition to that, it was just two good teams going at it, that as well. So you had two reasons why this happened to be the game of the week this week. And again, right now he's moving the ball again and, throwing some nice dots. But neither one of us had a great running game. Both of us were trying to run a little bit, and both of us have decent run games, but both of our defenses were stopping the run. So, but his passing game, he got me right here. Like that right there, guy was just open, and it was just a bad defensive play call on my part. I think it was actually my responsibility, and I came down with my safety and kind of messed it up. Now, right here, you see it's the fourth quarter, 2 minutes left. I need a score. And, so I had to come up clutch. And right here, this play was clutch as fuck. Look at this. Boom. Now, okay, check that out. I got to say, that's my guy last year who put up 2,000 yards receiving, hadn't had a good season so far, and we came up huge. 2 minutes left, we tied it up, and no, we didn't tie it up. We went for two. Of course, I had to go for two because, if I get it, it makes him have to be more aggressive to try to get in field goal range. If not, he can go conservative and play for overtime, and I didn't want that. I just wanted to get the game over with and put the pressure on him, and I got it. So right here, that was a play where, my corner just made a good play. And this play right here is kind of funny because you see it's 4th and 22. We had some good plays, and I thought he caught it when I first saw it. And from that angle, you don't see the ball come out, but he didn't get it. And, so I get the ball, 1st and goal at the 8. I was happy about that. When I saw it was 1st and goal, that's the first time I realized that he dropped it, because I was like, oh, my God, he caught that. But he didn't. So, and I actually ran and played ultra conservative intentionally because I figure – if I run the ball 3 times, I'm going to make him use all 3 of his timeouts, and worst case scenario, he'll have the ball with no timeouts. Now, mind you, it's not like he can't score in that time and get a touchdown in that time, but I'm like, okay, I still like my chances. I could have got aggressive. Well, I'll take the chance because I have faith in my defense that I could stop him from getting a big play and getting downfield, just keep him in bounds. And that was basically where my head was at, because normally I could have threw it right here, and obviously if I didn't get that 2-point conversion, I would have onside kicked it probably. And right there, I thought I was going to get in, but he still got the stop. So I go ahead, take the 3 points, and we keep it moving. And then now I'm just thinking, okay, you have to get a stop. And so now you're about to see this last drive, and right here, so we get a couple of good plays, and we get some stops, and I'm feeling pretty good about myself. He had a clean pocket right there. First play, he got out of bounds, And that's what I wanted to prevent. I wanted to make sure he stayed inbounds, and obviously it didn't work out like that, but we still need to get this stopped. So right now I'm like, okay, where do I think he's going to go? He likes this formation, and he gets this guy out of here, and then he stays in bounds. So I'm happy because, of course, he has no timeouts. Of course, he goes no huddle. I'm thinking that clock should be moving a little faster because I'm thinking there should be a rundown or something, but nothing like that happened. And then, I don't remember what happened in this place, so excuse me. Oh yeah, he threw it away. So yeah, so nothing happened right there. And so I'm still feeling pretty good right now. I'm like, he needs to get a touchdown. Field goal range does him nothing. And then I get the sack. So now, I'm feeling really good right now. I'm like, okay, we got this locked up. Right now we just sit back, stay a little conservative, and, just don't let him get out of bounds. And you got 2 more plays and it's a wrap, game over. And then this happened. When I saw that, I want to point out he has 2 99 speed receivers as well. I told you he has 2 fast corners and 2 fast receivers. When I first saw that guy, I saw it before he even threw it. I just didn't get over there. And I was like, oh my gosh. And fortunately, it was a slow tight end and I caught him. So right now we need to get a stop. He has a 1st and goal at the 8, same situation. I was just in the other side of the field. And so this first play, he gets sacked. So I'm still feeling good. And I'm still thinking, why is this clock moving so slow? It seems like it's going in slow motion. Because, right now it's like, okay, you need to get it stopped. This next play, he catches it. And this, I think, is where he messed up. He could have gotten out of bounds, and he tried to cut back in. And I don't know if he thought he was going to juke, break a tackle or whatever. But if he gets out of bounds, he can get into the huddle, call a play, do what he wants. That situation, his best case scenario was getting it off for 1 second, like quick hiking it and hoping somebody gets open and getting somebody wide open. But I don't know why he tried to stay in. I'm just glad he did because, I would like to think I would have made the stop, but didn't have to find out. Anyway, so 2 weeks in a row, we got a defensive player of the game. And I have to say, we need to get our offense on track because outside of that one clutch bomb to Bernstein, we really didn't have much going on offensively. The defense did enough. They got the plays, the turnovers, and got it done. So after the game, I sent him this picture. Basically, a son handed his dad a belt, being like, here, Dad, please beat me. Because he asked for this. Like, he literally asked for this. And, I was just like, I don't get a lot of people calling me out. And he called me out. And, I'm like, okay. So he's bringing me the belt saying, please beat me. And that's basically what happened. And, I will say this. I did want to keep this private because our conversation was just in our DMs and nobody else outside of me and him has seen this. But now I'm pretty sure everybody will. But, basically you can see I basically just sent a message being like, stay in a child's place. And I also mentioned how last season was definitely an accident and I apologize for it and I was sorry. But this one was intentional and on purpose. But I do want to say, in all honesty, because he has beat me, and the 2 times he beat me was in the playoffs. So it's not like, he still has the upper hand overall between me and him. So, it was really all in good fun. So it's not like I'm trying to dog him or anything. But, at the end of the day, he called me out and, this is what happened. This was the result. So I'm sure we'll see each other again, and we might see each other again in the playoffs this season. So, this could very well be chapter 4 coming up later this year. Anyway, let's get to the Freshman Phenom. Now, I mentioned earlier that the Freshman Phenom was going to be a little special this week. The reason being, we got 3 from the same team. And I have to say, as a commissioner, I feel like I should do something about this, mainly because he's in my conference and I got to see this every year. I got to see these 3 guys every year for the next couple seasons. And it's kind of crazy. So, first off, we have the quarterback, Mike Dallas. In his debut, his first game, he threw for 436 yards and 5 touchdowns. So much for the freshman jitters. He balled out. There's a lot of seniors who never get a game like this. This is a career day in his first game. That's kind of crazy. Like I said, I got to see him for a couple seasons. Not feeling that at all. And next up, Jackson Lavertre, Hope I'm not messing up his name because he definitely deserves some respect. Again, another freshman. He's a 5-star elite. That's basically the best you can get. He's also a 99 speed receiver. That's kind of crazy. Just, as a freshman, he got good abilities already. And again, I have to see him. So I got to deal with both of these for a couple more seasons. But yeah, he balled out 8 touchdowns, 177 yards. 8 catches, 177 yards. Great game in your first game. And the last guy is Taron Brown. Now, he's basically more of an honorable mention. He got 12 tackles, which is really good for your first game. Led the team in tackles, and they were going against Oregon, which is actually a good team. He's typically always ranked usually in the top 10, so it's not like he was going against a slouch. And like I say, just a great game all around. That does it for this episode. I'm out of here. See you next time. Peace.